I have several things to get to today, and I am so excited about it because in our last season of life, when we were showing our home and really living in a show-ready home for 6 months, I was unable to do a lot of things in the kitchen that I typically do, like bread baking, yogurt making, making sauerkraut, all these things that take a lot of extra time and really make your kitchen messy. Obviously, all those things require time for fermenting and leaving things out, and that was something that I was unable to do when we were in show mode. So I'm really excited to finally be able to get back into the swing of things and get some of these things going in my kitchen today. While we were in show mode, I remember one particular day when I had started some yogurt and I was in the process of heating it up, letting it cool back down, and of course we got a showing request, and so I had to unplug the Instant Pot and put it in our car to take with us so that our house would look show ready for the potential buyers that came to look at our home. On this rainy afternoon, I'm clipping a few flowers to get a little arrangement on our table. We are really starting to feel more settled into our home. And even though it's summer and we are spending so many afternoons at the pool or creek, we still do a lot of learning during the summer months. And one thing that really helps us to stay on track with that is IXL, which happens to be the sponsor of today's video. IXL is a pre-K through 12th grade online learning program that focuses on core subjects like math, language arts, science, and social studies, all while adapting to each child and meeting them where they are. IXL encourages students to be curious and empowers them to choose how to learn. IXL truly has something for everyone, no matter your child's learning style or knowledge level. They have built-in tools like video tutorials, learning games, and practice questions, and they keep it really fun and engaging for the kids. I promise you, you won't have to beg your children to work on this. They will come asking you, and they will have such a great time with all the different games that IXL offers, and the practice questions are great because they help your child learn by example, and they work for the audio and visual learner, which is great for someone like me who has multiple school-age kids. It's also great because it encourages your child to work independently, and as a parent, I love IXL because it truly sets your child up for success in school and helps them to brush up on topics that they really need help in. I personally really love the IXL skill plans. They are so organized and easy for the kids to follow. Right now, IXL is offering Arley House viewers an exclusive discount where you can get 25% off when you sign up for your first year or your first month. Family memberships start at only $7.46 per month, so if you are ready to try out IXL, be sure to scan the QR code here on my screen or click on the link down in my description box below. The next thing on my list today is to get some sauerkraut going before we enlisted our home. This is something that I did probably about once a month. My kids are obsessed with sauerkraut and they have been begging me, when are you going to start making homemade sauerkraut again? Because while we were in the process of selling our home, I did buy some store-bought sauerkraut, and none of them like it as much as my homemade sauerkraut. And so they are super excited that we are settled in enough now that I can get some sauerkraut going. Now, the thing with sauerkraut is that it is kind of a messy job in the beginning, and then I like to leave mine out for 2 to 3 weeks fermenting, and it has a little bit of a smell to it. And so it was just one of those things that wasn't going to work out very well while we were showing our home, because, you know, you don't want stinky sauerkraut sitting out on your counter when people are coming to look at your home. So that was something that we didn't really get to much while we were listing our home. And the same with bread baking. Now, if you watched all of my videos, you guys know that I never stopped baking bread, but there were a few times when I had to take the bread dough that was rising on my counter into my car. I have one particular memory when I was in the middle of making some hamburger buns, a loaf of bread, actually probably like 2 or 3 loaves of bread, and some bagels. And we got a notification for a showing, and this particular one, they wanted like to be coming there in like 30 minutes. And so I had my kitchen a complete wreck because I had dough everywhere, flour, it was a mess. I was baking, you know how messy your kitchen can get when you're baking. And so I started cleaning as fast as I could, and I got all of my dough that was rising. I put it in the back of my trunk because I don't feel like it's very appealing for someone coming in to look at your home and there's like several different bowls on the counter with towels on them. You know, it just kind of looks messy. So I put them all in my trunk. I remember even taking a picture of it and sending it to like my family text group and being so annoyed with the whole process of showing our home and having to put bread dough in my car while we headed off to the park. But anyway, so I am so thankful to be in a house where I know there is nobody going to be coming to look at this home. I have enough freedom now to make the kitchen messy, make up some sourdough bread, make some sauerkraut, and just let things sit out and ferment as it needs to be and not have to worry about getting this place show ready. I have this simple sauerkraut recipe on my blog. I can link it for you guys down below. It's so easy. I like to add a little bit of caraway seeds to it, just adds a little bit of flavor, and everyone in my family likes that. But it is a very simple and very cheap way to get probiotics into your diet. Next up on the list, I'm making a few loaves of whole grain sourdough bread. I often get asked about my mill here. This is the mock mill. I have it linked down in my description box below. And I also get asked a lot about what kind of grains I'm using. So these are hard white wheat berries. I just get them from Azure Standard, and these are my favorite grains for a sandwich loaf of bread. So on this particular afternoon, my husband left for the farm after lunch with our older kids, and they were heading to the farm to work with their fair hogs. And my husband was going to start on cutting hay, because we do hay, and during hay season you kind of have to just go with the flow. When the weather works in your favor and it's going to be dry, you have to take advantage of that. So he is cutting hay today, and then my plan was to make up a couple of lasagnas, because after the kids wake up from their nap, I was going to go to the farm and pick up my big kids and then head to the pool for a few hours and then come home, feed everyone dinner, and then get everyone off to bed. But while I was in the middle of making the lasagnas, my husband called and said that he was going to actually need my help and my older boys' help at the farm with the hay. And so after the pool, we would need to come back to the farm to give him a hand. And so I knew pretty quickly that these lasagnas probably weren't going to be getting eaten tonight, because we are going to be getting home so late and I'm not going to have time to bake these. But I just went on and made them anyway, and then I figured that we would have these for lunch or dinner on the following day. And after I got these lasagnas done, I had some leftover bread. I made up a bunch of peanut butter and honey sandwiches. I was making those for my younger kids because I know that they are going to be super hungry after the pool. I would have a way of feeding them, and so they could go to bed right when we get home, and then I would figure out dinner for the rest of our crew. So that was what was going through my head whenever he called and kind of switched up the plan. I also was thinking about my bread here that was rising, and so that I was going to shape whenever I got back home from the farm. So things kind of got changed up a little bit, but I was able to get some dinner made and lunch made for the following day, and then the sandwiches for my little boys. And then after the pool, I actually ended up running by and picking up a few hot and ready pizzas, and the older kids and my husband and I all had some pizza, and then we ended up not getting home from the farm until I think it was like 10 or 10:30 at night. So it ended up being a very late night, but we were able to get done all of the work that we needed to at the farm. In a lot of ways, summer is a much slower time of year because we don't have as many commitments or things when it comes to school and extra curricular activities. But in other ways, it can be more busy because there's so much more to be done at the farm with the animals and also the hay. And so these are things that I look forward to in the winter, but then also in the wintertime, it's really nice to get a break from those types of things and be able to kind of slow down again and enjoy the cooler months. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video.